Hello and welcome along people to another one of my little videos. Recently I spent the weekend down at Brands Hatch Raceway with Roger and Bradley Stockton. Team 27, they compete in the FSRA F2 British Championship. Anyhow, the guys are preparing to race over in the Isle of Man. Rog has raced over there before, Bradley hasn't. And this, I guess, is a short video to introduce everybody to Rog and Bradley and their build-up to the Isle of Man TT. Enjoy. Alright Rog, how you doing?
Good, thanks mate.
Can you introduce yourself to everybody and let us know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Roger Stockton, live up in Crewe, Cheshire. Been racing a good number of years now, retired a few times and come back because of the love of the sport. But I'm into my 50s now, but I had a new lease of life a few years ago when Brad became 16 and decided he wanted to have a go on the side, and had got another outfit which we raced at club level, which we got in 2015, and then we did quite well. Brad settled in pretty quick, and it's sort of gone up every year. We won a Darley Championship 2 years on the trot. I think it was
right
18 and 19. Sorry, I'm waffling too much now.
No, that's all right.
And then I did have another outfit, but dabbled in it a bit, and then ended up selling it. That was back in 2013.
Yeah.
And then did a bit of solo racing.
Did you? Two wheels?
Yeah.
Wow. So was Bradley always in the paddock with you?
Yeah.
And
yeah, he was. He grew up when he was sort of going to the Isle of Man every year. Back in first time I did it was 2000.
Right.
And then he would have been one when we went in. I think it was 2002 because we missed with foot and mouth. You can come in, Brad. It's just Brad's.
Yay! Well, now you can come in. Hey, now come in and sit down. Come.
I'm Bradley Stockton. I'm the passenger.
Good man. And how many years have you been racing with your dad?
This will be our 5th season.
Cool. I'm guessing the fact is, the whole point of this for me and for the Mad Leprechaun channel is to try and do a build-up for you guys for the Isle of Man. And you probably can't see, because I'm quite new to Zoom, but you can't see Bradley, but I'm actually wearing an Isle of Man TT t-shirt. Right?
Right, okay.
So that should tell everybody what you two guys are going to be doing in a couple of weeks. Yeah? Rog, how many times have you raced in the island?
think I've done it about 8 times, but
right, wow.
So I started back in 2000.
No way! Do you know what? I have to stop you there. You raced the TT in 2000.
Yeah.
That was the first year I ever went to the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
How cool is that? How weird is that? And that was the last time I was there for a race week.
Right. Well,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Wow.
I raced with my long-term passenger who owned the bike, Pete Alton, who's quite a big name now in the Sidecar world because he's got his own dyno.
Right.
And he's a bit of an engine tuning guru with Motec and what have you. And then he went a race till it was 2008. Well, Brad wasn't born till 2001. So all those years from 2000 to 2008, he was growing up in the paddock.
Yeah.
So everybody knew him as this little kid that was riding his push bike around the paddock.
Quite annoying.
And but then with life changes, I ended up finishing racing with Pete in 2008. I did buy another sidecar and go to the Isle of Man in 2010, but unfortunately, passenger nearly came out in practice week and quit, basically. It's just the way it was. It's better to admit it. So I didn't have a good TT then, and I've only ever been since in 2017.
Right.
And we didn't finish either race, unfortunately. We had an engine blow up and passenger hurt his hand in the first race. So I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd end up having the chance to go and race with Brad.
Right.
I had to think about it quite a lot before I agreed to it, but since Brad started, he's...
So I just stop you there, Rog. Who approached who as far as racing father and son? Because you are father and son. Who approached who about racing? Did Brad approach you and say, Dad, I fancy having a go? Or did you say, well, who approached who?
It was more me, wasn't it, I think. I always said that I didn't really want to do it when I first started. But
right.
Once you get the opportunity...
No, didn't want to do the TT.
Yeah, didn't want to do the TT, yeah. But once you get the opportunity... Yeah, the opportunity, got the chance to.
So this is your first ever time at the TT, Brad, racing?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
Can't wait. It's excited.
You're really excited? Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been over in the Isle of Man doing a little bit of homework?
Yeah, I was over at Easter weekend doing laps with Lee Kane. I did about 8-9 laps with him. Around.
So is Lee Kane, who does it? Milky Quail does it for the solo riders. Is Lee Kane the equivalent of for the sidecar passengers?
Yeah, for the passengers, yeah.
Right.
For the passengers.
So he gives you pointers where you need to be and what you need to be doing?
Yeah, exactly. Every corner, what I'm doing, yeah.
How many onboard laps have you watched?
Endless. I couldn't
really?
Definitely not. Yeah.
Apparently, going just before you go to bed, watch it before you go to bed, and try and sleep, and apparently it goes in better.
Try to, yeah. But I have to start at different points in the lap, otherwise I fall asleep.
Right. It must be completely different, Rog, from when you started in the Isle of Man. You literally went over there, that's Bray Hill, off you go, turn right, and you just learn the circuit by riding round it. Now it's...
Yeah, I did, but I personally learned it by splitting it into sections, so like sections that were flat out and things like that.
Right.
And I didn't know what to think of it the first time I went, because we just thought it was something we had to do while we had all the equipment. But we actually did really enjoy the first year, even though we were right near the back. And straight away from the second year, we were on it. We had a new chassis, a Shellborn chassis,
right?
And we did really well. And it was I actually have had 3 top 10 finishes.
Wow!
We were 2 7ths and a 9th, but back in the day, and I never actually reached the heights of what I wanted to. But I actually thought that back in 2008 I wouldn't be going again. So when Brad's decided that he wanted to do the TT, I had to take a long think about it because...
Oh, you're frozen. That's not good. Right, we're back. Internet went down. Sorry about that, guys. Put you off your stride. You were telling me all about your TT and your past TTs. I, in my opinion, and as a person who's never raced over there, well, never raced, anybody who completes a racing lap around the Isle of Man TT course is a legend. It's a long way around to learn. It's a long way around stress on you and on your machinery. So completing one racing lap, don't you get a miniature for each lap you could complete, or is that right?
Get a what? Sorry.
A miniature trophy. If you complete.
Not for a lap.
No. Okay.
You get a finisher's medal for finishing a race.
Right.
And then I have been lucky enough to win about 8 bronze replicas.
Right.
But because the bronzes and the silvers are dished out on average of not an average, a percentage of the, I can't remember if it's the winners or third place time.
Right.
Because the speeds have got so high, there tends to be not quite as many bronzes and especially silvers dished out now, because the top lads like the Birchalls and Molyneux and John Holden, they're all going that fast.
Yeah.
That you really are doing well to get. They might only be the top 3 or 4 that get a silver.
Yeah.
But I have managed to win quite a lot of bronzes every time. But
cool. That in itself, though, to me, that in itself is an achievement. I know everybody dreams of the one step, that top step where the Birchalls have been now for the last few years. But to get a replica, I think, especially in the Isle of Man, I mean, if it was a short circuit, you'd go, oh well. But to me, around the Isle of Man, it's just a special place. To get a replica, I think, is an achievement in itself. Or do you agree?
Definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's time trial, but it's also the endurance of the machine and the focus and everything. So are you even minusculely, are you kind of prepared at all, Brad?
Say again,
are you prepared? How mentally and physically prepared are you?
As prepared as I could be, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't be watching any more laps or working any harder to get there.
Cool. Well, I'm going to say, I'm excited for you.
Yeah. This year, going there with Brad as, young flesh and blood. Yeah. If we get a finish, that'll just be amazing. Any finish in either race, I'll take that. But,
yeah, too right.
And then the speed, I'm not going there with any speeds in my mind. Whatever speed, speed just comes when you settle down. So if Brad settles down straight away, we've got a better chassis that the chassis has finished on the podium with peak found. So the bike itself is a good chassis. So it's down to us really.
Yeah, I've seen that dash when you switch it on, and I know what it says. Let's not take that any further.
Yeah.
Thank you for Pete fans for that one. So you've been working on the outfit. Obviously, I spent a weekend with you at Brands Hatch recently, and it's all to do with signatures. How does that work, Rog?
Basically, you need 6. Well, a race finish is a signature, basically.
Yeah.
And you have to have a minimum of 6 signatures for our class to race this time, but 2 of them have to be in the current year. So, because we were only out at Brands Hatch and Donington, which is this weekend coming, you can have a signature each day you're at a weekend meeting. So, our 2 signatures were from Brands Hatch. So, luckily, we finished both races.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have had to go to Donington and get another signature. So you get your normal ACU license, which we have each year, but then you have to apply, once you've got your signatures, for a mountain course license,
right?
Which which you basically send 6 copies of 6 result sheets in and to get your license.
Right.
So, and then Brad obviously had to do his novice training which is like he did with Lee Kane, who was a top passenger.
Yeah.
And he signed off for that, so that went off with his application. So that's the last bit of form-wise stuff we need to get back to know we're accepted for properly. Although we have got the entry in provisional something.
What do you do, Brad? What do you do with Lee?
Literally just go around in his van.
Well, you just drive around the circuit in the van.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, in the front of the van.
And
talking through that. That's what we do.
Well, he just talks you through where the outfit's going to be, or
he'll talk me through it, and then as the weekend progresses, he wants me to talk him through laps.
Right. See if it's going in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he talk about bumpy bits or fast bits or?
Yeah, it talks about most bits, yeah.
Right. Cool.
So he'll basically be, obviously, as the driver, I'm concentrating all the time, not concentrating, working everything, but Brad will be shown by Lee, there'll be certain bits where he won't need to work it, even though sometimes, as a passenger, because as a passenger, not that I've ever been a passenger, there's a possibility that you want to work everything that you see is coming, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So Lee Kane he'll know what type of outfit Brad would have been racing with. We are an LCR chassis. So Lee Kane would have been explaining to him where he needs to work, meaning if he's a left-hander, whether he needs to help with that left-hander or any bits where he feels like Brad can stay still or stay in the bike and doesn't need to move, he'll be trying to have gone through and taught you that one. Yeah. So.
Cool. I asked Mark Wilkes this. When you tuck down and your head is all kind of tucked down out of the air, how do you know when to pop back up to passenger a corner?
Well, you can either look at it out to like the left, like behind the wheel arch, so you can see what's, if there's, I don't know, a grandstand or a marshal's pit or something or anything like that, or you can just creep your head up a little bit and just peep over there. So, shall I tell you? Like a gear change, or depends where you are. And if you're on a short circuit, you'll know it's coming in a couple of seconds. Or
shall I tell you what he said?
Yeah.
If your head is down, and if you can see your dad's left ankle, you know when your dad's braking.
No, I mean if to know when dad's changing gear and braking.
Okay.
I obviously know where he is on the track and what's coming next already.
Right.
So that just,
I know some passengers actually will time stuff as well.
Yeah.
They might have a section where, like you say, how do you know? They might actually time a section.
Right.
But a lot of the time you'll do it on feel because they'll know the engine note and everything.
Right.
And obviously Brad's not been around the Isle of Man. So he's got to learn all the sections.
Yeah.
And to start with, obviously, well, it'll take him halfway through practice week to settle down properly.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Listen, guys, thanks ever so much for your time. I think we'll wrap it up there. And hopefully we'll put this video out in a couple of weeks' time. And hopefully I'll catch up with you two in the Isle of Man in person.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, take care, and have a fantastic weekend at Donington.
Yep.
And we'll speak to you two very soon.
Thanks very much, mate. Catch you soon.
Pleasure. All right, guys, take it steady. Bye. Well, there you have it, something slightly different for you. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you haven't, please feel free to leave a thumbs down. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to ding dong the notification bell, and that way you will never ever ever miss another episode here on the Mad Leprechaun. Until next time, people, take care of yourself. Bye bye.